Welcome back to the channel. So today I've got another 2023 LCI Lifecycle Impulse refresh of the 3 Series. This is the 330i xDrive. It is in the lovely Tanzanite Blue. Well, it's a little bit cloudy right now. We're getting a little bit of sun here, so you can't really see the deep blues yet, but hopefully soon. So obviously refreshed for 2023. And this is what we look like now. So up front, until we got the M Sport package, we have a much more aggressive front end. You have the Shadowline package as well. So, not sure the M Sport looks better than the regular bumper. It is obviously much more aggressive and very different than the pre-LCI. So, Shadowline package also gets you the LED lights with, there we go, we got some sun now, with the cornering light. So, the cornering light is right there. Shadowline package basically blacks out, or Shadowline lights I should say, blacks out portions of the headlight, making it much more aggressive looking. The halos look pretty damn good. Obviously it's going to be a big change from previous versions of the halo lights. So moving over to the side, we have our style 791M wheels. They are bi-color. We also have the blue M Sport calipers. So the 791s are basically your standard for the M Sport package. I think you still get the 792Ms in cerium gray, if I'm not mistaken. Or that might be for the 4 Series. But either way, let's take in Tanzanite Blue now with sunlight hitting the metallic flaking. So obviously it's a very good looking blue. But you do pay a premium, so it's not an individual price. It is semi-individual. I think on the 3 Series it's $15.50 if I'm not mistaken, but we'll double check on the price momentarily. But it's good that Mexico is building, or has the capability of painting them now in Tanzanite and Dravit gray. Because previously Mexico built 3 Series pre-LCI, whereas it was a very limited color palette. If you wanted Tanzanite, Dravit, or even Aventurine or Oxide, I think it was Aventurine, but one of those colors, you had to have a German build allocation, which doesn't exist for the US market anymore. So out back, we've got a very aggressive faux diffuser in gloss black. So the taillights look to me be very similar to the LCI, if not the same, or pre-LCI. All right, we'll take a look at Tanzanite out of direct sunlight. So basically a very dark blue, but with that sunlight hitting that metallic flaking, that deep, very rich blue comes out. Hopefully that's coming out on film. Or on video, I should say, not film. So opening up, we have the Tacora Red Sensitech. It's perforated. It's a Sensitech 2.0. But very good looking seats. Nice perforations. It looks like leather, feels like leather, just doesn't smell like leather. So it's a no-cost option. And it's basically we have our Superman, Spider-Man spec, depending on what costume you're talking about. All right, so inside, no surprises here. xDrive 8 with your instrument panel here. Now again, I have to keep making note of this. So it looks a lot more glary on film than it does in person. Whatever the video is picking up here, it's exaggerated the glare effect. So I don't think you're gonna have any problem seeing the instrument panel in sunny conditions. You don't need a cowl over it. It's a really good screen. And xDrive 8 over here. For the trim, aluminum rhombosyl anthracite, sort of darker sort of aluminum look to it, or aluminium. So looking at the center console here, very nice. A little bit of texture to it, but not quite a lot. And of course, our gear selector nub. So I don't think this one has adaptive suspension, but even if there's that sort of button's missing now. And our parking gear selector right there. So obviously a big difference from the pre-LCI version of this car. So obviously one of the big changes with the climate menu is all of your controls for heated seats as well. Oh, actually no, steering wheel's still there. For heated seats are all going to be up here in the climate menu. Now you can use your xDrive controller to get there. You'll just have to create a shortcut for the climate menu, which can be found in the vehicle apps. So you go into climate control. You can make that a shortcut. You can use your controller to go around the different things here. The one thing you can't do is get to the temperature controls, which is unfortunate because I think this would be a really easy fix if you could use the controller to go down, because you can do it to go left over here to get to these things here. Going down would be a pretty easy solution to this, so I don't know why they haven't thought about that yet or implemented it, but that's a possibility in the future to get around some of those issues with changing temperature rather than using voice controls or your touchscreen. So here's the steering wheel button still there on the steering wheel. Still there for the i4, so some things like the iX and the X7 don't have this. I imagine the 7 Series, when we get one here, will show the same look. Alright, so let's talk about pricing now. So, starting price for the 330i xDrive is $44,300. And note that you can, well, you can't, but the dealer can flip between a 330i and xDrive. So if you want an xDrive or you want a regular rear-wheel drive version of the car and then have an xDrive, you can switch those things pretty easily. Tanzanite Blue, another $1,500. The Sensitech included, $700. The driving assistance package. Again, that should be a standard thing on the car. Shadowline package for another $1,300. M Sport package for another $3,100. And $1,350 for the premium package, which gets you the heads-up display as well. Let's see, moving down the line, we've got wireless device charging. So, thing to note about that. So, if you order the wireless device charging for $200, you will get the digital key back on the car. And then you got Harman Kardon sound system for $875. All told, MSRP of $54,320. And note, we'll just test this in a moment, is that the hands-free tailgate operation is back on the 3 Series. So, this is basically a recent build. Let's go take a look at that. Let me step back and take in that deep blue and Tanzanite, which is fantastic. I really like it a lot. All right, so let's try this kick to open feature here. So again, kick to open is back on the 3 Series. It's back on other vehicles as well. I think the one thing they need to really work on is getting that parking assistance package back on the 3 Series. It has just kick to open, so there's no kick to close because it's not powered, of course. So just note, kick to open works, but there's no power tailgate, so you can't do kick to close. But this looks like a pretty damn good looking car. Tanzanite Blue, I can't say enough about this one. It's perfect. And hopefully eventually the Mexico plant will be able to do individual colors. I imagine that's going to be the case because there is rumors and talk about the M2 being able to have individual colors, which for a handful of customers, maybe 2 or 3, you could actually do that if you know the right people and we're willing to pay a lot of money. Because remember, there's an Austin yellow OG M2. I believe that price was like $25,000. So obviously it's not going to be for everyone at that price, but if we can get individual colors on the M2, that would be fantastic. So we look forward to speccing some of those, as well as moving on to the 3 Series as well. But that's it for a quick tour around our latest 330i xDrive to arrive. So we'll see you at the next video.